I'm Merely Caruso. It's Tuesday, August 2nd. Today, arriving to say goodbye. The family of a Norwegian hiker arrives to say farewell with the Manitoba community that held him dear. Also today, a new role.
I have been critical of police in the past as a reporter, as a citizen, as a Grand Chief.
A former police critic is now a police advisor who has the newest position in the Winnipeg Police Service. Plus, color and culture.
It's a great way to celebrate our culture.
The Sikh community celebrates its past and its future here in Winnipeg. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. It was a Norwegian man's dream to explore Canada's north, but his dream led to his death. Today, the family of Steffen is in Manitoba to thank the community that so desperately searched for the missing hiker and to bring the body of their loved one home. There was a memorial service for the 29-year-old yesterday. Skotelvik set out on a hiking journey from Fort Severn, Ontario last month. He was expected to arrive in York Factory in northern Manitoba, but never made it. His body was later found by a search crew near the area and flown to Winnipeg. His family arrived in Winnipeg on Friday. Northern and First Nation community members who met Skotelvik during his travels also attended. His younger sister said he had been searching for a deeper meaning in life.
On the way, he met the people of Canada and fell in love for the ways of living here, together with the First Nation. The respect and love for the nature and the humbleness in how to deal with the greatness of Mother Earth must have been giving Steffen so much answers.
A family spokesperson said Skotelvik's body will be flown back to Norway tomorrow, where a service is also planned at the family's local church. A 15-year-old boy is dead after the dirt bike he was driving hit a train. It happened early yesterday afternoon at a railway crossing on Pleasant Road, just south of Highway 15 in the Arm of Springfield. RCMP say the teen was riding a dirt bike south on Pleasant Road when it hit the train at the crossing. The boy, who is from Steinbach, was pronounced dead at the scene. RCMP continue to investigate. The victim of the city's latest homicide is from a First Nation community in the Interlake. Police say 25-year-old Melvin Catchaway of Lake St. Martin First Nation was found seriously injured and unconscious in the 600 block of Langside Street shortly after midnight Friday. That's in the city's Spence neighborhood. He was brought to hospital but later died. His death is being investigated as a homicide. Anyone with information or video surveillance is asked to contact police or Crime Stoppers. And firefighters returned to the scene of a possible arson today. Fire broke out at the Exchange Events Center on Bannatyne Avenue early this afternoon. Crews used drones as part of the attack and managed to put the fire out in about an hour. This is the second fire at this building. There was another one there on Friday, which police say was a possible arson. No one was hurt, and there are no damage estimates. In a first for the Winnipeg Police Service, the force has appointed an external Indigenous Relations advisor.
I know that we have strained relationships between Winnipeg Police and Indigenous people in our city and even in our province. We have a lot of work to do. I myself
Sheila North brings a lengthy resume to the position. She's a former journalist and author and was MKO's first female Grand Chief. She's also served in Indigenous relations roles with the International Commission on Missing Persons and the University of Winnipeg. In her new role, she'll be an advisor to police brass focused on improving relations with the Indigenous community.
Someone had mentioned we have the largest Indigenous population, urban Indigenous population in the nation. I think it's extremely important that those individuals are protected, felt heard, and have a say in how that policing is conducted within this community.
Police Chief Gene Bowers says one of North's first assignments will be helping in the creation of an Indigenous Advisory Action Circle. A 77-year-old man is dead and a teenage boy is charged with dangerous driving following a crash in southwestern Manitoba. It happened Saturday at the intersection of Highway 23 and Highway 5 in the RM of Argyle. RCMP say a pickup truck driven by a 17-year-old was headed south of Highway 5 when it collided with an SUV heading west on 23. The crash sent the SUV rolling into the ditch. The driver of the SUV, a man from Killarney, died from his injuries. The teen wasn't injured, and police arrested and charged him with dangerous operation of a motor vehicle causing death. A report on reducing mosquitoes in Winnipeg recommends a multi-million-dollar upgrade to the insect control facility. Right now, the city relies on fogging with a chemical called Delta Guard, but that chemical is no longer available, and the city will eventually use up what it has in stock. So it's looking for other ways to fight mosquitoes. The Standing Policy Committee on Community Services says one way is to increase larviciding, standing water. But ramping up that service requires extra staff and equipment, which the report says the current insect control facility on Gray Street just can't handle. It's already relying on portable washrooms, off-site parking, and uses mobile trailers as change rooms. The report recommends a $13.5 million upgrade to the facility. The plan still needs to be approved by City Council. The Public Service Committee is also recommending no new changes to the way the city allocates ice time. Earlier this year, it was tasked with finding out what would happen if school division high school ice programs were given priority over major hockey games and practices. The reports say both groups are currently getting all the ice time they asked for, and their schedules largely don't overlap. It says any changes would likely cost major hockey ice time and likely push them to look elsewhere. The report was for information purposes only. Visits to Winnipeg libraries are up this year, and the number of incidents are down. That's according to a new report at City Hall, which shows total visits at Winnipeg's 20 public libraries is up nearly 11% in the second quarter compared to the same time last year. One of the exceptions was Millennium Library, which saw 6% fewer people, but the report says that could be because the library adjusted its hours in the fall and buses are no longer traveling down Graham Avenue. The total number of incidents, which range from inappropriate behavior, medical incidents to assaults, are also down slightly across the system and at Millennium specifically. A Winnipeg man is facing multiple arson charges after two separate fires. Police say Friday afternoon a man set his home on fire in the 200 block of Pritchard Avenue. The blast was so strong it blew him out of the living room, and the flames spread to neighboring houses. About 2 hours later, officers say he set another fire, this time in the lobby of an office building, forcing an evacuation. Police say the man then walked into police headquarters and confessed. Kids are heading back to school this week, which means school zones are back in effect once again. Drivers should watch for signs and slow down to 30 kilometers an hour within the posted zones. The reduced speed school zone areas are in force Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. from September through to June. If you're caught speeding in these areas, you could face a fine of at least $200 and move down 2 levels on the driver safety rating scale. All right, let's bring in Daniel Halmersid, who is in tonight with the first look at your Skywatch evening forecast. For any of those kiddos that headed back to school today, they were wearing some of their new fall clothing. Temperatures definitely cooler today.
No, absolutely, Marilee, and more of the same is expected as we move through the week. Not a lot of bright spots, and today it's all thanks to a cold front coming from the north. Now, down in the southwest pocket of the province around Melita, Deloraine, some storm activity this afternoon. We haven't seen anything like that here in Winnipeg and much of the south, but we could see a chance of showers as we move through the rest of the day into Wednesday, and then on Thursday, even more bad news for most folks. Only a high of 10. I'll have your complete Skywatch forecast coming up later in the show. As for right now in Winnipeg, taking a look outside, 13 degrees under mainly cloudy skies, wind out of the north-northwest at 27 kilometers per hour. The pressure rising, the humidity sitting at 77%.
The Bathfitter Live Eye is brought to you by Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years.
And a look out on McPhillips, traffic moving People heading back to work, so likely a little busier than it has been. One note to pass along. Southbound Kenniston near Corden, there was a stalled vehicle there about 15 minutes ago. Expect some delays as you're heading home.
After a summer burned by wildfires, a move to bring tourists back to Manitoba. A sneak peek at a new ad campaign after the break.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
One of the biggest food companies in the world is downsizing. Kraft Heinz is splitting in two only a decade after merging. The company says the complexity of its structure as one massive enterprise makes it hard to prioritize. Heinz products like ketchup and Kraft mac and cheese will be under one new company, Kraft Singles and Oscar Mayer under another. Here's how the trading day ended. The Canadian dollar is down 14 cents to 72.58. West Texas Intermediate is up more than $1.50 to 65.55. Western Canadian Select is down to 51.05, and the TSX is up 51 points to 28,615. That's another record close. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Market Watch is brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross. Group health plans for any size business.
Travel Manitoba has launched a new campaign to help bring tourists back to areas of the province ravaged by wildfires this summer. The campaign's theme is Travel with Your Heart in the Right Place and highlights Whiteshell Provincial Park, northern Manitoba, and communities and businesses which are open and ready to welcome visitors this fall. There's also a new website with road trip itineraries, travel deals, and planning resources. The campaign runs now until November, targeting Manitobans, Canadians, and international travelers. The Sikh community gathered in Winnipeg Sunday for the annual Nagar Kirtan Parade. Crowds gathered at Memorial Park to celebrate the significance of the Sikhism's final guru, now honored through the religion's holy book. This year marked the parade's 25th anniversary in Winnipeg. Organizer Jujar Brar said the event celebrates not only the faith, but also the people who carry it forward.
It's a great way to celebrate our culture, but it's also a great way to celebrate kind of our spot here in Winnipeg. Obviously, you know, a lot of people, they are born here or moved here from India here, and we kind of established new lives, and it's a celebration of the past that we have and kind of the new culture that we built here in Canada as well.
The parade also featured a free community kitchen, martial arts demonstration, and cultural displays.
These are mind-bending questions.
Well, he may be the only astrophysicist in the world you can recognize, where you can see Neil deGrasse Tyson discuss the possibility of life in the universe here in Winnipeg. The Spotlight is next.
Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Led Zepp again, the premier tribute.
Daniel Hummerson back now for Spotlight, and we're exploring some of the biggest questions in the cosmos tonight.
Not us, thank God. But is there life beyond Earth? The most famous astrophysicist on Earth is coming to Winnipeg to help answer that question.
Our planet is a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. In our obscure...
For the first time ever, Neil deGrasse Tyson is coming to town. His captivating talk, called The Search for Life in the Universe, blends cutting-edge science with his trademark humor and clarity. He'll discuss the search for habitable worlds, the possibility of intelligent life, and what it all means for humanity. Neil deGrasse Tyson takes the stage at the Centennial Concert Hall on Friday, December 5th. Tickets go on sale this Thursday at centennialconcerthall.com.
Be pretty cool to see him. All right, actors and actresses, here's your notice, because you're going to want to hurry hard to this one.
Casting is now open for a Made in Manitoba curling TV series. It's called Cool Sweepings, a comedy drama about 4 Black Canadian friends who enter a curling tournament in hopes of paying off their debt with the prize money. For the main cast, producers are looking for 4 Black Canadians between 18 and 22 years old. The supporting cast includes a variety of ages and ethnic backgrounds. Filming is set to begin this fall right here in Manitoba. You can find out more details by checking out Black Film Space Manitoba on social media. The series is in conjunction with Bell 5 TV. Bell is the parent company of CTV News.
All right, now to a Victorian-era mansion in downtown Winnipeg that's marking a major milestone.
That's right. The Delnavert Museum is turning 130 years old.
Oh, good. I'm glad you went in there.
The Delnavert Museum and Visitor Center held its annual Delnavert Days celebration over the weekend. The museum has been open for 51 years, but the mansion itself was built 130 years ago. The museum's service manager says experiencing history in person can be more powerful than reading about it.
It's one thing to read about something in a textbook, but having a museum like this that is sort of a day in the lifestyle feel where you get to walk through and you get to experience it all, that really helps bring history to life, and it helps to allow people to understand more about the past so that we can understand how we got to where we are today and hopefully shape a better future.
To mark the anniversary, the museum offered free admission, along with a local vendors market, food trucks, and outdoor games.
All right, speaking of history, did you know Assiniboine Park Zoo is more than 125 years old?
Well, the zoo's been around for a long time, and visitors got a glimpse into the zoo's past over the weekend.
We changed the prairie from natural landscape to cattle pasture.
Now, visitors to the zoo usually come to see the animals, but with this guided outdoor tour, they got to hear behind-the-scenes stories. The Conservancy's education manager says the idea came from a visit with his own family.
We had everybody from 3 to almost 90, and the stories just started flowing. But I realized my own family is very nostalgic about different things. We all had different experiences at different times in their lives. But it was important to all of us from 3 to almost 90. And if it was my family, I realized, well, that's going to be everybody.
Now, for more information on events at the zoo, visit assiniboinepark.ca.
All right, thanks for this, Daniel.
Your primetime lineup begins at 7 with back-to-back episodes of The Big Bang Theory. At 8, High Potential takes a novel approach to crime fighting. Then at 9, the competition is heating up on The Amazing Race Canada. And a look out on Osborne Street, traffic moving south a little slow there. Last check, that stall on Keniston southbound near Corden was still in the way. It's 13 degrees under a little cloudy sky here in Winnipeg.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon. CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Well, it has been a cool and gloomy start to a short work week after a beautiful long weekend. So with the good and the bad there, folks, and taking a look over the next few hours, maybe a few rain showers here and there throughout much of the province. Cool temperatures overnight into Wednesday. Much the same Wednesday, so if kids heading to school, you may want to pack a raincoat for them. Expect it to clear up as we move into Wednesday evening. But check this out, coming out of the south or the northwest, move actually over to this side. You can see the storm system developing early Thursday morning. Temperatures are going to be pretty cool throughout the province that day as well, and it's going to kick around for most of your Thursday. So be prepared if you're heading back to work this week, pack that umbrella, because it's going to be a little rainy and a little cold. Now, there's lots happening over the weekend. We'll get to that right away. But tonight here in Winnipeg, dipping down to 8, chance of showers overnight with that wind coming out of the north at 15. Tomorrow, high of 13 in the afternoon, that chance of showers. Now, that should be earlier in the day. It's expected to taper off, as you saw, heading into the afternoon and evening. But the wind north at 30, gusting up to 50. So a breezy day, just like we saw earlier this afternoon. As we move into the Thursday, as I showed, rain with a high of 10, cloudy on Friday, high of 14. Now the sun returns as we move into the weekend. Banjo Bowl happening Saturday under partly cloudy skies over at Princess Auto Stadium. Sunday, though, moving back to seasonal average temperatures, mostly sunny, and plenty of sunshine to start the next week, a high of 21 on Monday. Our first Skywatch pick of the day comes from Roxanne. That was taken near the Esplanade Riel of some lightning strikes overnight. And our second one, you'll have to look a little closely here, folks. We may not enjoy the weather, but that frog out in Assiniboine Park certainly took advantage of a nice cool day. Keep those weather picks coming. You can send them to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
Thanks, Danny. A Manitoba couple walked nearly 800 kilometers to raise awareness about addictions. Samantha Powderhorn and Luther Alexander have been walking since August 17th. They started the Hope Movement Walk in Thompson and arrived at the Forks here in Winnipeg on Sunday. The walk aims to raise awareness about addictions as well as the mental health crisis, especially in northern communities.
I realized that this is the root of the trauma that we face as Indigenous folks. Because it's a lonely, lonely road, and we have to start normalizing sobriety, breaking cycles, getting an education, healthy relationships.
HOPE stands for Healing Overcomes Past Experiences. The couple wants greater attention and resources for healing and recovery, as well as more accessible addictions treatment options. They definitely had some very hot days for that walk, but congratulations on wrapping it up. It looks like they had a good turnout at the Forks. It is kind of interesting to see how hot we were to temperatures today, but we'll have much more on what this back to school week holds weather-wise coming up next hour. Hope to see you back at 6.